How's it going, y'all? This is Legendary Nats, also known as Stan, and welcome back to Dark Souls Remastered. In the last episode, we started going through a lot of Blight Town. We came across Quaylana right here, and got to see how much of a crap storm this place can be at times. Really, it's not that bad of a place. I was talking to a couple of buddies of mine, and we were talking about, compared to how this place used to be, this place is 1,000 times better, just compared to what it used to be. One, of course, getting the opportunity of playing through it a few times, I've kind of learned the area some, but also the fact that they've helped out the frame rate to the point where it's not as bad as it used to be. So, there is that. And, yeah, so we've gotten to talk to Quaylana here. We come to find out that she was one of the witches of Izalith. And she actually mentioned to us about fearing the flame. And, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm kind of going through some sinus stuff. It's really hot here in Louisiana, and it is just prime sinus weather. And it's just a complete and total invitation for all kinds of infections. So I do apologize if I sound sniffly or nasally. But we got to talk to her, and she was telling us that we need to fear the flame because of the issues that the flame has. I had mentioned in, I don't think it was the last episode, but it was the episode before last, I had kind of mentioned the aspects of how the flame works, considering that they consider pyromancy to be so simplistic or uncivilized or anything along those lines. And basically how I came across it excuse me, is that you have the science versus religion, because miracles are based on faith and it's a religion based thing, by the way of the white, and also like the sunlight covenant. And then you have the science aspect, which is the spells, the sorceries, and having to study and study and study and learn different sorceries. Then you have pyromancy, which is kind of like in the middle, that just draws out from the inner being. And then you have a fourth one, which is hexes, or are hexes. Sorry for my poor grammar. But the hexes actually draw from what you could say would be the occult, because hexes are dark sorceries, or dark magic. So you have these four different aspects of sorceries, and it's very interesting to see how simplistic they view pyromancy, and how they are considered to be simplistic, how they're considered to be a little bit uncivilized, uncouth, not wanting to really associate themselves with it. So I also have my trusty water. So now we're going to just continue going on through this area of Blight Town, and then we're probably going to take on the boss in this area. So, and we're going to summon the NPC that's in this area as well. There is a way to actually kind of speed up the process of moving by, like, I think switching between two-handed and one-handing. I love how... See big boy right here with his big old rock? Stabbed him right in the butt. Drop your rock, buddy. Oh, you actually can't hit him whenever he drops his rock. I didn't know that. Stab him right again. There we go. I'm not too worried about farming these guys. Like I said, they don't really drop that much. They don't drop that much along the lines of anything, really. All they drop is dung pies, which are Cool and all. Oh gosh, I thought I dodged, but I was wrong. Go ahead and stab him in the butt. I really hate those mosquitoes. Those mosquitoes are a pain. Alright. Oh! Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna make it. I thought I was gonna make it, but I didn't. Oh gosh. Go ahead and heal. I thought I was about to get killed by the mosquito, but wow, he decided to go all roly-poly with his rock. It's been a long time since I fought one of these guys, so oh my gosh. Stupid bug. There we go. Let's go get this item over here. Got the Great Club. Requires a lot of strength to be able to hold that weapon, but it's a phenomenal weapon if you do have the strength to be able to do it. It is a great, great weapon. If you like big, heavy things, well, that's definitely the route you want to go. Now, if you get too close to those ones over there, they will start chunking their boulders at you, and if they hit you, they do a lot of damage. So just be mindful of that. I don't think there's really anything over here. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I think all it is just part of the land. Now, you can see that there's a lot of spider webs. And From Software has always been the type to have a spider boss in some way, shape, or form. There's always a spider boss. Never fails. So, if you ever play a FromSoft game, be prepared. There are always going to be some form of spider boss. The only thing that's not prevalent in Dark Souls a lot of times are snake bosses. So, they do have a couple of snake bosses in a couple other games, but not in Dark Souls 1. Which I think it would be kind of weird if they did have a snake boss, due to the fact that just how this game is built. I think it would be kind of hard to actually do that. But I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not a programmer, so I know some programming, but I don't know enough to really make a definitive statement like this is how it is, bros. So, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and heal, get back our strength, and we're going to actually go take on the boss. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun. The boss in this area is, and I know I've said it a couple times, this is your true first challenge, but this is a real wall for a lot of people, and a lot of people actually get really pissed off trying to fight her. And I've had friends quit because they couldn't get past this particular boss. They made it to a certain point, and then all of a sudden they came across this boss, and they hated life like so much that they just smashed controllers and all that kind of stuff. And really, they could have summoned people to make things a little bit better, but we're now in Quaylag's domain. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a Blooming Moss. I'm going to use one of my humanity so I can heal properly, because I really don't want to waste my Estus, because she's kind of hard for me also. And we see these new enemies right here with these like giant egg sacs on their back. Just really ugly looking little toads, aren't they? These are actually her followers. And these are actually a special enemy type. I'm not going to attack them because they're actually not, they're not wanting to fight, mainly because they're just worshipping Quaylag. So we're going to come in here, and we're also going to equip. Gonna take that off. Gonna take that off, and we're gonna go ahead and equip my 1 gold pine resin, and I think that's all I'm gonna be able to equip for now. I could equip my humanities just in case if I run out of healing items. And let's see, what else can I do? That's probably all I can do right now. I'm not going to need my pyromancy flame. And should I change into a different armor set, considering the fact that I know none of the armor that I have on is going to be that useful against her, but... And this is the NPC, Man-Eater Mildred, the one who actually invaded us last episode that I totally forgot all about. The cool thing is that Man-Eater Mildred has a bit of significance to this game in general. Not as much as in lore. Excuse me, sorry. But in development, Fromsoft actually would invade each other while they were in development for the game and have this particular NPC. So it was really cool to see that, and they kept her in the game as kind of a nod. And they have a couple other throwbacks to her from in other games. So, but we're gonna summon her. Mainly because she actually does a pretty good job in this fight. And a lot of times I don't like summoning. I think it's funny that they made her like really fat too at the same time. Give her like a really tiny upper body, but like kind of a big underbody. But this, I don't usually like summoning other NPCs or anything like that, but I wanted to do it mainly because I just wanted to show y'all what you can get. So let's go ahead and traverse into the white light. Oh. Oh my. Oh god. I'm gonna throw up. What? What? Huh? Okay. Then she has that little smile that she does. So we're gonna go ahead and buff her weapon. This is Chaos Witch Whitlock. Oh gosh. She actually got me. I thought I'd be careful of getting hit by that. There are a lot of things she can do. Really mess you up. I really liking it. That's one attack. If she starts going in like that, be very careful. I'm trying to get her way off of that thing because, yeah, I figured she's about to spread something off. She doesn't really like lightning damage, so if you can do lightning damage, that's a great way to do it. About the ears. Yeah, for Man-Eater Mildred not to have any armor whatsoever, she sure is taking those hits pretty well, isn't she? I wish some of this lava would go away. Be careful of that attack. One of the best things... Oh, that almost hit me. I'd rather not get clipped by that. You can actually get right next to her, and we ended up beating her pretty quickly. Man-Eater Mildred really does make this fight easier, so if you want to actually make it a little bit easier for yourself, because Blight can be hard if you're not careful, and have Man-Eater Mildred help you out. See, the thing is about Quelaag actually has one of the largest health pools at this point in the game, so you actually haven't fought anything that has as much health as her. So you could even say, well, the Gaping Dragon had a lot of health. Well, no, not compared to her. She actually has quite a bit of health. And especially with the fact that we had summoned an NPC, her health pool was even bigger. Now, what probably made things a little bit easier for me is because my weapon is a +6 weapon. And it's a really strong weapon, and plus having Mildred there, it really does kind of help out. But we're going to find out a little bit about Quelaag, so why don't we go ahead and read her soul that we gave us, or that she gave us. Soul of Quelaag, once daughter of the Witch of Izalith, but now a chaos demon. Special beings have special souls, and Quelaag's soul contains all aspects of chaos. Use it to acquire a huge amount of souls or to create a unique weapon. And then we also got the soul from the Moonlight Butterfly. I forgot to read this before. Soul of the mystical Moonlight Butterfly, which flitters in the Darkroot Garden. Special beings have blah blah blah. The butterfly soul is a creation of Seath the Scaleless. So we see that these two actually have very different backgrounds. Quelaag, or Quelaag, however way you want to do it, or however way you want to say her name, she actually was one of the witches of Izalith, or one of the daughters of Izalith. And it mentions chaos, and it's because what ended up happening in the game, or in the lore actually, excuse me, I'm really sorry. But what ends up happening in this lore is that Quilana mentions about the flame and how it devours, and to fear the flame, and she doesn't want to see what can happen from it. Well, the witches of Izalith, though they are the creators of pyromancy, there is more to it. They also created a special pyromancy. A pyromancy called Chaos Pyromancy. Chaos Pyromancy is on a different level than what regular pyromancy is. It's actually a stronger level of pyromancy. And you will actually see this once we can actually get some chaos spells. You'll actually see that there is a difference if you cast it. When you cast a chaos fireball, it leaves a little trail of lava. But one of the things that we haven't really been able to talk too much about is that this world is under a curse. We have mentioned that. We have said that this world is cursed, that there's a lot of things going on with this curse. One of the things that is going on with this curse is the fact that the flame that came from where the Lord's souls were at, where Gwen, Grave Lord Nito, the witches of Izalith, and even the furtive pygmy grabbed a hold of this flame, because beforehand they were all underground, so it was nothing but darkness. But there was actually a big flame that popped out of nowhere, which actually is the Lord flame, the Lord souls. And when they took a hold of it, it gave them power, it gave them the ability to actually become gods, essentially. And because of that, they had their own realms. Like Grave Lord Nito was in the realm of darkness and death, while the witches of Izalith were in flame and all that. And while Gwyn and his other children, his knights, they ruled with sunlight and all of that stuff. I know I'm oversimplifying it, but there is a point to it. Well, the flames started to die out, and Gwyn started to fear that, and he feared humans. He really feared humans. He feared all humans because of the whole idea of what would happen with humans. And he went to the witches of Izalith to try to conjure their own flame, to basically reignite it so that they would continue having the reign of Gwyn rather than the reign of humans or the reign of darkness. And when that happened, they created the Chaos Flame. And when they created the Chaos Flame, it completely distorted almost all of the witches of Izalith. We've come across two so far. Only one of them was not disfigured, and that's because she got away from it. She was able to run away from it. But Quelaag was not so lucky. She actually ended up transforming into what we have seen, half spider, half sexy lady. So let's go ahead and get right here and let's pull this lever. So now we have rung both bells, and that only means that now we have also unlocked the way to be able to go inside of Sin's Fortress, Sin's Funhouse. But to kind of continue on what I was talking about, let's go ahead and drop down here. I was hoping to be able to bounce, but I did not. But the Chaos Flame actually distorted a lot of things, and it actually created demons along with it. Let's go on this way. But with it changing everything and actually creating demons, they were ended up, or all the demons were actually put into a place called the Demon Ruins, which we just entered in. Now here are some more of these guys who have these egg sacs on their back. Not all of them will attack us, but some will start to attack us. So we're going to go ahead and raise up our faith some more. And we also need to go back in here because there's another place that we need to go in here. But I just wanted to sit at that bonfire real quick. So we're going to come up in here. And you think that there's nothing to do, but you will just kind of want to start smashing walls, and I think this is the wall. Nope, I was wrong. Is it this one? Yes. And we have an illusionary wall. And a bonfire.
Oh dear. What have we here? Are you a new servant?
Yes.
But you have no eggs. No matter. Go along and have audience with our fair lady. I pray that you will mind your manners.
And here is another of the witches of Izalith. And there is a covenant that you can enter in right here. And it's the Chaos Covenant, the Chaos Servant Covenant. We're not going to enter in it right now. But you can actually go ahead and reinforce your Estus flags. Now I'm going to save one of those souls, those Firekeeper souls, for later. And if you try talking to her, she can't talk. You actually have to have a special item to be able to talk to her. That item is the old Witch's Ring. You can get it in the very beginning of the game. So if you were to start the game and you want to be able to talk to her, you can. And not only that, but she is a Firekeeper. So this is her flame, her bonfire that she is linked to. And as any other Firekeeper, if you kill her, this flame will go out. But I really suggest you not to kill her. There is a lot of lore aspects with her, and I just could never do it because she is just such a, in my opinion, one of the coolest NPCs. And she's so darling. She really is. But she is quite a bit more deformed than what Quelaag is. And let's see if we can talk to this exec fellow right here and see if we can find out any information.
Are you prepared to dedicate yourself to our fair lady? Then I will make available whatever you require. If you need something, ask me first.
He can actually modify the pyromancy flame, and you will find out the reason why that is the case. We have the servant roster, which basically, I guess you could say, is kind of like a checklist of servants for the Daughters of Chaos, and it's kind of like it's not really that important, to be honest with you. I don't ever get it. I just don't find it that important. But let's talk to this fine young guy.
There is no time for idle chat. Think only of our fair lady and what she may need. There is nothing to say to you, except if you lay a hand on the fair lady, you should be prepared to face my wrath. There is nothing to accept you.
Okay, so he doesn't really have much to say, and there is some reason to that. And actually, you know what? I will go ahead and join into the covenant, so that I have the ability to do what I gotta do for this covenant. And she also gives you Great Chaos Fireball, which is a great way to go ahead and start getting that. And what you do, you actually offer her humanity. So we're gonna offer her 5 humanity. I can offer her more, but I'm not going to right now. I have to collect a lot. If you want to do her storyline, I highly suggest you get at least 30 humanity. Right now, I have 6 plus 7, which is 13. So I have 13 humanity. I've already given her 5, so 13 plus 5, that's 18. And I don't have enough just yet, but I'm going to end up getting more humanity as time goes on. But I highly suggest that you get 30 humanity. There is a significant reason why you would want to do that. There is actually a door right here, and we can't open up this door at all. Not yet, at least. Actually, no, that's not a door. You have to open up a door from a different location, I think. I could be wrong, guys. It's been a long time since I've actually had to go through this area. Let's see if this chap has anything else.
There is nothing to
okay, so he really isn't going to tell us anything. Ingi, or, well, I guess now I can say it. His name is actually Ingi. We've heard that name before. We've heard it a few times, actually, in Pyromancy. This is the Ingi himself. This is the Pyromancer, who is one of the reasons why he's one of the reasons why Blight Town is the way that he is, or how it is, because he made a mistake, and he accidentally caused everything to happen here, if I remember correctly. But let's see if we can read some of that information. Are the flame of chaos which engulfed the witch of Izalith and her daughters. The flame of chaos can melt stone, produce a short-lived lava cloud. So it doesn't really give us that much information. But we do see, if we are to look right here at Poison Mist, it brings up the fact that Ingi became an egg-bearing undead who serves a deformed young girl who speaks an unintelligible tongue. And this is where we're at. This is exactly what has happened. He serves the fair lady right here, and she can't speak unless you have a specific tongue to be able to do it. okay? And they have a specific covenant that goes out and collects humanity for her. And the reason being is because of that humanity actually is very essential for her to be able to survive. That is why Quelaag does what she does. That's why she actually kills unwitting a bunch of other undeads and brings her a bunch of humanity so that she has the ability to survive. So let's actually give her some more. We'll give her 10 or 5 more. And so we've actually ranked, our rank has actually increased, so we're now at rank 1 of the Covenant. So that's all that we're going to be able to do for now. I don't want to use up all my humanity at this moment because I don't have enough. But we're going to go ahead and continue on. And guys, this is where we're going to end the video. I know I just said we're going to continue on and then I'm going to end the video. But this is where we're going to end the video. We've done a lot. We took on a boss, went over some lore, especially about the flame. Got to meet Ingi and the Fair Lady and learn a little bit more about this curse that has fallen upon them. So guys, thank you very much, and I'll catch you next time.